All right. Does not matter the size on this. Just keep it at default. So it's 500 by 500. So I'm going to click Create. I'm going to go over. So my artboard is black, which is not good. So I'm going to click over on the fill. And I'm going to change the background to white. Go up into this section over here. I'm going to click on the Create tool because I want to create a stick figure. So I'm going to click on the circle with the plus sign in it. I'm going to go to Shape, and then I'm going to go to Ellipse. So I'm going to click on Ellipse. I'm going to hold down the Shift key because I want to create a perfect ellipse. All right. While I'm doing this, I'm just going to go ahead and label what these things are supposed to be. So this ellipse is going to be the head. So I'm going to double click on where it says ellipse in the artboard, and I'm going to call this head. Then I'm going to make a new shape. It's going to be a rectangle. It's going to be somewhat thin. And I'm going to call this one body. So as I'm doing this, I'm going to just label these things. That way I also not only save time, but I will know what these things are as I'm creating the bones for them. So I'm going to click on the plus sign again, with the circle around it, go to shape. I'm going to go to rectangle. This time I want to create something shorter. All right. I'm going to copy this. So I'm going to go Control C, then Control V to paste. So that's Control C as in cat, and then Control V as in Victor to paste. Then I'm going to click on the arrow on one of the rectangles and move the rectangle down so it slightly overlaps. And click on the circle to turn it. You can also touch the rectangle to move it into the right place. Just want to make sure I can actually see this. All right. I'm going to call this one back bicep. I'm going to click on this one, and I'm going to call this one back forearm. So I'm going to click and drag over both objects, both rectangles. You'll see that it just looks like just one selected, but if you look over in the artboard, both of them are selected. So I'm going to click on one of the shapes, and I'm going to drag it into place. I can use my arrow keys to put it into place a little bit better. Then I'm going to not only drag it into place, I'm going to also copy these things. So I'm going to press Control C and then Control V with both objects selected, V as in Victor, and I will click on the shape and move it over, and now I have two new shapes. Right? This one is going to be named front forearm. Yes. So I click and I drag over the shape. I have both of these selected. I press Control C as in cat, and then Control V as in Victor. and it creates 2 new layers or 2 new shapes. Did that help? Oh, okay, good. Then after I get done, I need to unhide the shapes that are in the back. So I'm going to click on the shape and I'm going to drag it out from underneath. The new back forearm needs to be labeled front forearm. Back bicep needs to be relabeled as front bicep. Also, I want to move it. Let me select both of them. I want to move it so that both the arms are now visible, are in a place where I can actually see it when I attach the bones. All right, since I have this shape already copied, I'm going to actually use these shapes to create my legs. So I'm going to control, because I already have it in cache, I can just press Control V and it will paste it again. And I'm going to use this as my legs. And you want it to slightly overlap the shapes because that's where the bones are going to go. Then I'm going to, again, I need to relabel this. This is going to be front calf. This is going to be front thigh. All right. I'm just going to use these shapes. You could copy and paste the arms again if you want. I like that this is already named, so I'm just going to copy this. So I'm going to drag my mouse over the leg and press Control C. Actually, before I do that, I could actually create the foot. So I'm going to create the foot too. So I'm going to go to the Create tool, click on Shape, click on Rectangle. That way I just get the whole thing. And this is going to be front foot. I'm going to click and drag over both shapes or over the whole leg. I'm going to press Control C to copy, Control V to paste. And I'm going to click on the shape and drag it out. I want to do that. Okay. So click on this is no longer front thigh. This is going to be back thigh. Everything has to have a unique name, guys. See, back This is going to be back, calf, and then this is going to be back, foot. All right, now going on, because now I have everything labeled correctly, I'm going to start with the bones. The shortcut for the bones is the B key. Also, if you need to find it, it's located in the Create tool, and it's down here, and it's bone. All right, but you can see there's also the shortcut B. When you finish a group of bones, you press the Escape key to go out of the tool, and that way you can create new additions or new bones on top of the old ones. Right? So it's the Escape key. You can also use the Translate tool, but just so that you guys are aware, when you use the Translate tool, it will go down here to translate, and you won't be able to move the selection. So you can't actually move the selection. So it's probably better to use the Escape key. All right, so I'm going to click on the bone just so that you guys can see where I'm getting it from. I'm going to click on the pelvis, go up to the neck, go to the top of the head, and then press the Escape key to get out of that selection. I'm going to press the B key, go on to a new selection. So I'm going to go to the front arm, press the Escape key, and press the B key again. So basically I'm tracing over the arms, and then I'm going to trace over the legs as well. Then Escape key. Press the B key, go to the pelvis, go to the thigh, front calf, and then front foot. Press the Escape key at the end, and press the B key again. Do the back, I'm going to basically trace the back leg. So go from the pelvis, go to the leg, calf, first thigh, then calf, and then a foot, and then Escape. So now I have my bones. Now I need to label these things. So they're all root bones, which is not correct. This root bone is going to have another bone under it. So this is front bicep. Front bicep is connected to the front forearm. Root bone, this is the main one, this is the body. So this is very, very important because this is actually that connects everything together. So this root bone technically is a root bone. So I double click on this, I'm going to call this the body. This is the back bicep. And the back bicep is connected to the back forearm. I have the front thigh. So you notice I'm clicking on the little arrows to uncollapse it. So this is front thigh is connected to the front calf. Is connected to the front foot. And if you notice, everything starts from the body. I just want to make sure everyone is aware that everything starts from the body. And then we're going to start moving these things around. I'll show you how to move them around. We have also And everything is labeled root bone. Do not worry about that because eventually you're going to move it into the correct place anyways. So this is back thigh. This is back calf. And this is back foot. All right, so we need to move these. So after I've labeled everything, it's very important that you guys label everything underneath, right? Otherwise, what's going to happen is you're not going to have the proper shape that goes with the proper bone because they need to be associated with each other. So what I can do is I can click on back thigh. I'm going to hold down the shift key. I'm going to click on front thigh. My shift key is still held down. I have back bicep and then front bicep. And so these bones are all connected to, eventually going to be connected to the body because I'm going to drag these into the body. And there's one that I'm missing, so I'll get to that in a moment. So if you notice, they all, you saw a little rectangle, and they are now in the proper place. So now they're all underneath the body. If you notice underneath body, there is bone 1. This is the head. So I'm going to double click on this and call this the head. In order to create a group, because I actually have to create a group out of this whole body. So in order to create a group out of this whole body, I'm going to drag my my body bone, which has everything in it, to my body shape. Okay, so I click on the body. So what I'm going to be doing from now on is I'm just going to be moving things in the proper place on the layers panel. I don't have to worry about my character anymore. All right, I just want to make sure that everyone is aware of where I'm going with this. So first step is I drag the body bone, which has all my body parts in it for the bones. I'm going to drag the body bone into the body shape. It's going to look like a rectangle. Once I let go, you're going to notice the shape turns into a cluster of different shapes. So the cluster now has all my resources inside of it. So I'm going to click on the arrow. And underneath that, it has this thing right here. It says path, right? This is not a path. This is actually, if I click on it, it's actually the shape that's located right here. And I have to rename this body. This also has to go into the proper place. So body that's in the body group that's underneath here, this needs to go underneath the bone. All right. So right now I don't have anything here. So I'm going to drag the body shape into the body bone. Now it's in the proper place. Okay. So to make this a little bit easier and a little bit more visible, I'm going to drag things that I can actually see. So I have back thigh right here. I'm going to look at my list to see where back thigh is right here. So I have back thigh right here. I'm going to click and drag back thigh until it turns into a rectangle, drop, and there's my back thigh. It actually has my back thigh underneath it now. Back calf, I need to look up here and I'm looking for back calf. I'm going to click and I'm going to drag back calf into the back calf bone. Click, and I look next. Next I have back foot. So I want to look up here, and I'm looking for back foot. I'm going to click and drag back foot to back foot bone. So now I have back thigh is connected to back thigh shape. Back calf bone is connected to back calf shape. Back foot is connected to back foot shape, right? And that's how everything is going to go in here. So I collapse that because I don't need that one anymore. Now I'm going to go to front thigh. Oh, I could actually do the head now because I can actually see the head. So I'm going to click and drag head into the head bone. So head bone has head shape in it. Next, front thigh. So I'm going to look up here for front thigh. So I have front thigh here. I click and I drag front thigh into front thigh bone. Front calf is going to get dragged into front calf bone. Front foot is going to get dragged into front foot bone. Okay. Now I'm done with all those shapes. Now I have everything back in the proper place. I can now collapse that. Front forearm. Front forearm is going to go into the front forearm here, but I don't see it. So I'm going to go front bicep first. Front bicep. It's going to go in front bicep. Uncollapse that. Front forearm is going to go into front forearm bone. And I have it right there. Now I can collapse that. Now I'm left with my last two. I have front bicep visible here. So I'm going to click on front bicep shape and drag it to front bicep bone. I uncollapse that. It's now in the right place. Front forearm, I'm going to click on that and drag that to front let me put that in the right place. Front. So something's not labeled. Oh, back forearm. Sorry. So back forearm is going into back forearm bone. Okay. To test this out, if you want to see if it works or not, if you click on the body bone and click on the circle, you'll notice everything moves with it. That's how you can test to see if it works. You can also click on any of the bones, and you'll notice the bones will move according to the actual bone in the shape. That's how you can test it out. All right. So that's how you do it. To save it, you can click on the upload button right here. Click on the download, and then you're going to click on for backup. And then it's going to download your new file, .rev file, and that's the one that you upload to the assignment. Now, don't try to, let me repeat this. Do not try to open these files unless you drag them into Rive. If you don't drag it into Rive and you try to open it, you're going to get an error message. All right, so that's my last note of warning. So I think at this point, I can stop recording.